Hey, what's up, everybody? Don't mind the noise in the back there. That's some delivery truck coming into the gas station to drop off some stuff here. It's about a little after 2 a.m. right now. I should be heading home. I got work in the morning. Had to get out there and get some exercise. Do a little bit of walking. Got a big buffet tomorrow to do, you know, for later on this later this evening. Got some sort of a benefit show to help some sort of charity, which name escapes me. So, Minnesota Vikings fan, I know you made me a mod for your channel there, but sadly I won't be able to mod, sadly. I just found out about this earlier tonight, prior to the head chef leaving. So I have to wait to see how it goes. And I'm hoping that the Wi-Fi be fixed later on today, so I'll be able to listen to your program with no problems. Because I tried to listen to Foundmouse Network earlier today, and I just couldn't do it because the shit kept buffering. I talked to one of the guys, one of the managements up there, and they said they'll have somebody come there and look at it. Wi-Fi's been fucking up big time. I want to talk about, of course, you know, something I discussed it in my last video, of course, being Star Wars. Now, I already gave my theory on Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and the possibility of the current trilogy's hero, Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, possibly turning to the dark side, knowing that there's the image of her wearing a black cloak and carrying a double-edged red lightsaber like Darth Maul used to use in Episode 1. And of course we see a C-3PO with red eyes, people thinking maybe he turned to the dark side too, or was programmed to join the dark side. Who knows? Who knows really? I gave my analysis on the whole thing. I said possibility, you know, she may be pretending to join the dark side, so maybe she could take out Kylo Ren and the rest of the First Order. Who knows? So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out when it comes comes out this December. Now, they're saying that after this movie, there won't be no more. There'll be no more Star Wars movies. There'll be nothing. Zilch, squat, dilly poop. You know, and since the spin-off movie on Han Solo, simply titled Solo, A Star Wars Story, did crappy at the box office, the possibility of seeing offshoot storylines and movies, you know, involving, you know, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader, and whoever else may not possibly happen. When one little spin-off movie does terrible, rest assured, the faith in doing another spin-off movie will go down to crapper, you know. Movie studios are like that, believe me. I remember hearing about it. If you're signed to a record label, you put out your first album, and it flops, you're dropped. Bottom line, that's said. I'm thinking this earlier. It would be nice, you know, if they decide to do another Star Wars movie, they decide, you know, we change our mind. Let's do a new Star Wars movie. If they decide to ever do that, come up with something original. Absolutely original. A storyline involving good and evil. But instead of involving, you know, Rey or Kylo Ren or Finn or Poe years later on where they're old and crumbly. How about something based on, let's say, the Old Republic or Jedi Academy? Those, of course, based off of two well-known Star Wars video games. The Old Republic is a well-selling series. You know, Jedi Academy was pretty good as well. I remember me and my nephew playing that one once or twice. You know, come up with something like storylines involving those two scenarios, those two concepts. But instead of Master Luke as a trainer, have somebody else, a different master at least, you know. You know, that'll be most interesting to see. Because according to the comic books and other storylines, there are other Sith Lords out there. For instance, Darth Bane, Darth Zana, who's this luscious-looking blonde. You know, we have yet to see a storyline or a movie based on Mara Jade. You know, who is this former Sith assassin who ends up marrying Luke Skywalker. You know, a friend of mine named Karen, you know, who I mentioned earlier, she cosplayed her a few times in a couple of comic conventions. It'll be interesting to have something like that. But then again, who's going to play the young Skywalker? You got to think about that. They could probably have, you know, Mark Hamill reprise that role, but add some computer animated touches up to his face, you know, where he wouldn't look so old. That may be a good idea. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I thought the Jedi Knights are not supposed to have spouses. Well, since, you know, Luke is the master, a Jedi master, he rearranges that rule. You can have a relationship with a young lady or a female or a male. You can fall in love. You can fall in love, just as long as it does not interfere with your work and training as a Jedi Knight. You know, don't let your feelings of love get in the way. Big mistake Anakin made back then. And boy, did he suffer for that. I'm going to end this with a little memory here, clips here. I mentioned earlier that Star Wars was possibly one of the big reasons why the sci-fi genre got a big reboot back in 77, 78. And I remember for me, you know, whenever it was a sci-fi movie that would come out, I would go want to check it out. Whether it was a cheesy movie called Laser Blast that had claymation aliens in it as well. A movie called The End of the World with Christopher Lee in it. Involving, you know, of course, the planet Earth blowing up and shit. I remember The Black Hole, that Disney put it out. Their first attempt at sci-fi. Actually, not their first attempt. You remember the Escape from and Return to Witch Mountain series they had in the 70s? I remember me and my dad on late Saturday nights would watch old episodes of the black and white Flash Gordon series on public television around 11 p.m. on Saturday nights there. I remember thinking to myself, imagining at school the next week, imagine a lightsaber duel between Emperor Ming and Darth Vader. But Darth Vader as babyface this time. Kind of weird, huh? Something that I'm praying that some fans will do something like that. Since Emperor Ming is not mentioned that much when it comes to sci-fi villains. He's one of the first big ones. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm Dr. Earl. I would say, may the force be with you, but that's so fucking overdone. So I'm just going to leave it at, rise, my young apprentice. In the words of Emperor Palpatine himself. Take care.